And we are back, the Blame Girl podcast with
Mr. Terry Wayne.
And we got Blamie Forret in the house. Welcome.
Hi,
Blamie.
everybody. How's you doing?
Good. How you doing? How was your weekend?
My weekend was great. I had gigs all weekend. I was just chilling, trying to, hook up with some people, and that's about it. That's my weekend.
You did Villain Theater this weekend?
No, I was on Tobacco Road. And where else was I? Oh my God, I don't know. Under the MacArthur Bridge too, somewhere like that.
Yeah. Terry,
how was get a decent crowd under the bridge?
Yeah, always. They're a great crowd. Yeah, I love junkies. They're the best. That's why I love the gay community,
Because they're junkies?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
We'll get into that a little later. Terry, how was your weekend?
It was fine. I went up to Orlando, did a show with Gio and Sita. Very weird indeed, but fun time. Had a good time with everybody, and then just sat on my fat ass for a while after that.
Yeah. Well, I was at that show, and it was a light show, to say the least. And I mean, it filled out for Sita. I think that venue, we did Fat Fish Blue in Orlando, Blamie, and it doesn't fill out till later. I've been there 3 times, and it's just they got to push those shows later.
What time is later for you guys?
Later,
I would say
about 9.
A 9 o'clock show there would be good.
Yeah.
Oh, see, in the drag world, a normal time show is about 2-3 a.m.
No way. That's so late.
I don't do that. But yeah, it's nuts.
So, and then I found out while we were at the show, as some of you may know, I'm a paralegal, and I found out that we are going to trial on Monday, and I wonder if we're streaming.
We are.
Check.
No, we are
on YouTube because it's telling
sharing
me
it right now. Yep.
Okay, it told me that we don't have permission to stream, and I'm like, what? So I just want to make sure we are live. Anyway, I found out that I got to go to trial, or we have a case that's going to trial on Wednesday, and that kind of fucked up my weekend. So I did work all weekend.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it sucked. But, it's exciting a little bit too. So, you know what else is exciting? M&M spokes candies. They are. They they had
So
sexy
stupid.
green girl, and then they switched it up and they had all kind of girls. But now M&M has had to replace its spoke candies with Maya Rudolph, y'all. Who's to blame?
Oh,
Maya
man.
Rudolph. This was all a big scam for her to get that fat paycheck from Mars,
Do you think it's a conspiracy
she just wanted that
theory?
spokesman spot.
Yeah, he sounds like a conspiracy theorist right now.
I'm all for a conspiracy theory, though. I would love if Maya Rudolph had some conspiracy theory against all of this.
I would love it. To me, that's the most fun explanation, because if it's not Maya Rudolph secretly pulling the strings to get this fat paycheck, then that means that people really are stupid enough in this day and age to give a shit about some fucking candies.
Well, who's stupid enough to give some shit about these candies is Tucker Carlson is always complaining about how they're not sexy enough, how they're too fat. What do you guys think?
Dude, fuck your wife. Stop worrying about Mr. Potato Head and the green M&M and just fuck your wife, man. What's the matter with you?
Yeah, he talks about it often, and he keeps talking about, I have a bunch of quotes written down here from him because this person I am. He was talking about how they're trying to make M&Ms unappealing and androgynous, and different sexualities that they're trying to portray with the M&Ms and everything. It's this is my issue. I wasn't alive for the moon landing or anything like that. I want to see something happen in space. I want to see us land on Mars. I don't care about fucking candy. Do you know what I mean? Can't we just talk about something else, like space exploration or literally anything else than candy? I don't understand why this is a big deal.
Because when they say these things, they're just fighting one big culture war, and it's about things changing, and they don't want them to. I mean, they are called conservatives, for God's sake, like they don't want anything to change. And even if it's the littlest thing, it doesn't matter. If you go from Mr. Potato Head to just Potato Head, they're gonna make a fucking big deal out of it.
Yeah.
I feel like they probably complained when like they made a woman Eminem at first, and then then they were like, "Oh, she's not sexy anymore. That one's too fat." Like
they don't want Eminem to be sexy anymore because they don't want women to be sexy anymore, because that's just the liberal agenda to turn your children into trans people. That's don't you know?
Do you really think M&Ms are trying to turn kids trans though?
I don't know. They turn freaking frogs gay, I guess.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't.
Well, I've always said the same thing about this argument, because they've been having this stupid argument since I was like an early teenager. I remember this argument back in the 90s, like, oh, if you just let openly gay men just be free and be open in front of everyone, they're just gonna turn your kids gay. And I remember having the same thought then that I have now. It's like, nobody had to turn me straight. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody had to convince me to like pussy, and that's ruined my life several times. So that's when I realized, I was like, oh, you just are whatever you are.
Yeah.
It's a stupid argument. It's a stupid argument for stupid people, so they can manipulate them into funding the GOP. That's what it is.
But do you think people were wrong in trying to make M&Ms more inclusive? Like, do you think that's also ridiculous on the other end?
I think it's
why did we
the whole thing
I
is
don't think it's ridiculous, because they started somewhere. Like I said, at some point they introduced the lady M&M, and then it's gonna spiral from there.
Well, I think it's more like just some marketing executive trying to find a new way to sell candy that's going to be popular.
Yeah.
I don't think there was
sex appeal once. Now you use inclusivity. It's for profit.
It's just
totally.
Yeah, and the whole thing started when they said, "Oh, we're turning M&Ms upside down." Yeah, for like the women's movement, like M&Ms, you turn it upside down, it's a W. Yeah, all right. Yeah, like that's all it was. It was just a cheap marketing ploy. And when I say cheap, I mean all they did was flip it upside down, and we're like, "Oh, a W." Women get it.
You don't think that it's good for society to have that inclusivity and like Eminem, a big like icon of the United States, like Eminem, to get behind the women's movement?
I think it's
I don't think that really matters. No.
It's good to a level, though. It's good to a level. It gets a little ridiculous at some point, because this is what happens with gay pride. It's so commercialized now that we don't even know what we're doing. We don't know what we're celebrating anymore. We just we're running around with TD Bank fans, clacking them and getting wasted and everything. Like it's kind of lost its feeling, and it's
corporatized now.
It's corporatized, and it's just fucking M&Ms. Like why does that have to be such a big deal?
That's right. And the peanut ones are the only good ones anyway.
That's true too. That's true too.
No, but the peanut one is fat. She's fat, so.
Well,
I think that's fine too.
All right.
Yeah.
That's part of that's inclusivity, right?
Yeah. I think you have to pump the brakes at a certain level with inclusivity. You know what I mean? Like, we're having debates about like fictional candy characters here.
No shit. This isn't Martin Luther King. They're just trying to sell candy. That's it.
Well,
they could give a fuck about inclusivity. They're not out here for they're not out here for their heart and soul trying to make the world a better place. They just want to sell more candy. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
Well, I would personally love to see Eminem get on a movement like to get the police to stop killing innocent fucking people.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go. Hometown time.
Here we go.
Yeah.
As many of you may have watched the video. I don't watch those snuff films anymore, but the death of one Tyree Nichols this week by the hands of, may I say, an all-black force in Memphis PD has encouraged change in protocol already. Who's to blame, guys?
Well, I'm going to let you go first because I'm from Memphis, so I got something to say here.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you go first too, because at the end of the day, I'm a white cis man. Like, I should be listening to these stories, not really preaching about it. You know what I mean? Obviously, the police are to blame in this scenario, duh, obviously. But I want to hear your take on it. It was under the hands of the Scorpion Unit, I guess they were called in
Yep,
Memphis.
the
Yeah,
Scorpion unit. So
yeah,
that would be like the main blame, right? Is who you
yeah,
would blame initially is this unit that is, and there's units like this all throughout the country that just they do unnecessary police, really. You're not really going after crime, you're looking for crime and you're picking on people that are just passing by and just kind of like trying to find it, but it's not solving homicides or it's not
yeah.
stopping mass murderers or mass
Well,
shooters.
no, because if they can't find a crime, they'll create a crime.
No, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
What do
I
you
mean, they'll
think, Gary?
shake you down and look for something and try and figure it out. I think that first of all, even though I'm from Memphis, I'm going to blame exactly who I think is to blame, and that is the city of Memphis. The city of Memphis is to blame, because I even remember even the last time I lived there, we all knew there was corruption in the police force. We all knew that these little subgroups inside the police force, they're the worst things in the world, because it gives a sense of entitlement, and then that just leads to abuse. As always, it's always going to lead to abuse. But looking at the city as a whole, there's been corruption throughout that city for decades, and the people just keep letting it happen. The mayor, when I was there, should have been recalled 3 times over, but instead people just kind of went with, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to watch that city fall apart because they're doing absolutely nothing to stop it.
Well, they are doing stuff now. Like, for example, they're disbanding the Scorpion unit. And they're protesting. I saw that they were, talking to city council, and city council's like, yes, tell us what to do. Like, they
Yeah.
want that reform. They are craving that reform in that city. And I think
It's been long enough.
We're craving it in the United States, because this is just another story. This man was a father. He wasn't even a threat to them, and they beat the shit out of him to death. And that's the only reason
It was
we
always
saw
going to
that
take
video is because they didn't shoot him, because you can't watch videos where they shoot people in Memphis. But since he died because they beat the shit out of him, we got to see it. And America once again sees another person, another snuff film. So,
I just don't understand how this
You're
is
right,
still
and you
fucking
shouldn't watch
happening.
those unless like you're jerking off. Then you can watch them. But
But like, I just don't get how this is even fucking still happening. I just don't, it's mind blowing to me. And the one thing, I read an article on CNN, they said that they're actually, that's what you mentioned before, was they're listening to what they need to do in order to right this wrong in Memphis. I mean, a little too late here. I mean, come on, it shouldn't have happened in the first place. So, I mean, CNN was saying how like 2 years ago, they wouldn't have handled it the way they're handling it now. So, I mean, I hope I mean, these guys should be put away forever. So,
well, the only thing that I'm happy about in the situation, well, I wouldn't say happy, but relieved. I was relieved to see that it wasn't 5 white cops this time. Only because if I got to listen to Fox News drone on and on about the race card and race relations,
still doing it.
I'm gonna blow my fucking head off.
yeah, I mean, they're still doing it.
I know they're still doing it, but again, gas fire.
You got the conservatives that will still support the police no matter what. They're like, he should have complied. Well, if you think about it, he couldn't. He was in pain, and they kept just leaning into him. He could not comply. So I didn't watch the video, but this is what my trusted sources that I listened to.
I did. It's the same thing as always. I'm gonna kick the shit out of you and tell you to comply, and all you're doing is trying to defend yourself and saying, lay down on the ground. I can't. You keep fucking hitting me in the back of the head. You
got to play dead for them, and then they'll leave you. They'll just lean you up against the car.
Look, I've been saying this forever, at least for the last 11 years. Memphis is a garbage city filled with garbage people, and I'm allowed to say that because I got out of that garbage. It's never going to be better until they demand it be better.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's a very black city. You know,
That's where I was in Alabama. Alabama, because my sister writes naughty books, right? And there was like a convention and I met her up there, and it was a town in Alabama, a big town like Birmingham or something. Oh my
Yeah.
God, it's so dangerous at night. Like you can't even go to the gas station once dark comes. They close.
I was just in Mobile. They were saying the same thing. They were saying like, yeah. The South is poor. The South is poor. It's got a terrible history. Obviously, but it's also very poor. And when you get poverty, you get crime. That's just what happens. You know, people get hopeless.
Yeah.
And
who,
Memphis is a great example of this because it's been getting more and more poor ever since Elvis died. And and they lost their tourism industry. And it just keeps getting more and more poor. People get more and more hopeless. There's a huge gang problem. There's a huge crime problem. You know, I hate to say it. I just don't know what answers to give to those people, you know, other than move.
Yeah. The education rate there too. My cousins live in Mississippi. I mean, it's on top of all that. I mean, the education is Mississippi has the worst in the country. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know, that combined with ignorance and, you know, these people got to do like better background checks with the police department as well. I don't know, because there's two reasons people become a police officer. They want to make the community better, or they're sociopaths. You know what I mean? You got to weed out those sociopaths.
and it's just like, I don't know. I feel like our society is all about brawn. Like, it's like you're
Like the
mainly
strong survive.
you're mainly
Yeah.
if you beat people up, you know, like, and
Yeah.
if you're a cop and you're like protecting and serving and beating people up and football, and it's just this whole society's, we're fucked up
Yeah.
because so many
Yep.
people will defend the cops for doing what they did, like even explaining, he wasn't complying. What?
No.
Fascism.
No. I'm sorry. You don't beat a guy to death. And there's like that. In what world does that make sense? You know?
Yeah. So
Well, I mean, because especially with this one, this isn't like a shooting that can be explained away by, oh, it happened so fast or blah, blah, blah. No, you don't just beat a guy to death.
Yeah.
You know, like there's going to come a point where he's going to be unconscious before he's dead. So, I mean, it's bullshit. All the excuses are bullshit, you know?
Yep.
This was somebody that, to me, it always comes back down to the training, because I didn't go through the full police academy, but I went through some of it, and I got some of the training. And there is very much an air of like, if anybody challenges you, never back down. You know, like they don't teach de-escalation. They just teach, you know, I'm in charge, you're not. And if you got a problem with it, we've got a number of answers on my belt here. So they really got to teach them like more, like de-escalation, obviously, you know, scene management, and then just humility, for God's sake. Like, you're not a god. You're just a guy who didn't go to college, who's now got a gun and a badge. You know, just calm the fuck down. You know, write your tickets, make your extra revenue, and stop fucking people up. But every time this happens, I feel like it's a step in a direction of, if you're, you know, because again, we all have the same argument, you know, it's like, oh, it's not every cop, it's just the bad cops. Okay, well, every time one of these situations happen and the cops end up getting arrested, every bad cop in the country's ears perk up and they're like, oh shit, you know,
so
can't get away with this stuff like we used to, you know.
My boy Anthony, he's like, you got to start with the Memphis situation, because it would be hard to go from a woman who enjoys golden showers to a serious situation. So we're doing it the opposite. We are going from serious to golden showers, guys. I got to keep this moving along. And
good Lord.
the rest of these topics are a little funner. You got P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, his lover, Carisha of City Girls. She reveals that she likes golden showers on her podcast this week. Why? Who's to blame? Why would she do that? Let's start with you, Blamie.
Somebody in
Well,
her
she
childhood,
was
that's
she was
like-
drinking, and
Yeah.
she has no filter. She's known to not have a filter with that, so she's gonna say what she wants. But I heard she likes giving golden showers, not receiving them. And
It
she's
sounded-
was
I thought
Oh,
that-
it's equally weird. It doesn't really
is
matter.
it? I
Yeah.
listen. I've never done a golden shower before, but listen. I'm in the gay community. That's like just an average Tuesday afternoon for us.
Yeah,
Get
that's
to know
weak
each other.
sauce.
I mean, it's not a big deal. She's also dating a guy named P. Diddy. I mean, P is in his name. Like, what did you think you're gonna do? Do you know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna
P.
do?
Diddy started trending.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if you guys have ever pissed on your friend before, but I don't think it's that big
Well,
of a deal.
hey, I've been married before, so obviously I pissed on my wife's leg in the shower. But that's just to be funny. That's just to be funny.
I would
Yeah.
fight you. Like, you said not to me.
No, that's when you're in the
You ain't-
shower together and
you
you
ain't
just
no
start
damn
peeing on
dog.
the back of her leg and you just
Oh,
wait
yeah,
until
we've-
it,
I've been
it
there.
always
No.
takes like a minute before they realize.
yeah, you're just doing it for fun.
Yeah, it's just funny. Yeah.
Draining the
I
bank.
think every married man has done that to his wife at one point or
I'm
another.
so glad I've never been married. Oh my God, that is so nasty.
It's just fun for us because it's just
That's
like
too
shoot right
close.
out.
It's just meant to be funny. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So y'all do
It's
like
not like
golden
I'm like, lean down,
So
I'm
y'all-
gonna piss in your mouth. You know.
So you
It's
do
not
like golden showers, right? I think, you know what? I think that she is very, like you say, she's very outspoken. And I think
Yeah.
she's empowered to reveal her kink and not be ashamed of it. And I think that that's healthy sexually, you know?
I mean,
Well, I don't think it's healthy sexually just because the act of, and like Blamie said, whether she's into giving them or receiving them is a huge difference. Because giving them, that's just you denigrating somebody, in my opinion. Like there's anybody who likes to pee on another person, they're not doing it just to get kicks. They're getting kicks out of the fact that it's like, yeah, you take my piss. Like it's dark. It's a dark kink.
It makes me feel better that she's doing it to him because the thought of a woman liking that, oh,
yeah,
The thought
I
of a
guess-
man
then
like
I'd have to
that,
blame R. Kelly, right?
Well,
like
hey,
Carisha, did you know R. Kelly? Like,
in the gay world, it's very common for people to pee on each other. Like it really is. Like it's not like a really big deal in the gay world. Like there's gay clubs where in Germany, especially, there's the urinals that are on the second floor. They have tubes that go down to the basement, and there's a pool of urine that goes down there, and guys just lay in it and everything. And that's just like a normal thing. Oh yeah.
That is not a normal thing.
for our community where we got all of our rights granted to us, it's a normal thing. So we just like
blame me. Don't let him trick you. I think it's just a man thing. Something about men.
I think it's a man thing too. I completely agree with that. I think it's
I don't know about that.
there's straight men that like pee. Shut up.
yeah, I think, but it's also just
I'm
like
just saying
He
it's
did it.
not. We can't just say, "Oh, that's no big deal." Like we're biologically.
You just prefer women's urine to men urine. That's
No,
all.
I don't. I don't prefer any urine.
it's sterile. I mean, you don't
I
gotta
don't
neither
drink
is
a lot
shit.
of coffee.
He
We
said
are
it's-
biologically ingrained in us to avoid piss and shit. Like it's in our DNA.
Shit is a different story. That's like
Oh,
fucking
now
freaky.
that's a bridge too far, Blamie.
That's where
Lay
I
in the
draw the
piss
line.
puddle.
That's not a healthy
fine,
kink.
but shit is just way too far.
I don't think that's a healthy kink. I have a guy every time because I'm from Connecticut originally, so this is no surprise. Every time I'm back home in Connecticut, I get a message on Grindr from the same guy, and he always asks me, "Hey, are you lactose intolerant?" And I always know where that message is gonna go, and I block him every time, and he creates a new profile and messages me on it. So that's a whole
Are
different
you
thing.
lactose intolerant? Is the question? Oh my god.
Because he wants me to, eat a bunch of dairy and do,
Yeah.
tough mutter him,
Ugh.
Okay.
That's the whole thing.
I'm not, and here's the thing. I don't want to be misconstrued. I'm not kink shaming anybody. I'm just like, if it's like that, keep that shit to yourself, man. That's gross. That's just gross.
So is your kink to some
Me?
people. Yeah.
You know what my kink is.
Yeah, but
Everyone knows what my
also gross
kink is.
to some people, you know? He likes fucking
and I
horses,
understand that. And when I
He
feel
likes
like
doing
I'm
what?
roughing somebody out,
fucking horses. He likes
Huh?
fucking horses, Blamie.
What?
Fucking what?
Horses.
No, I do not.
He's into bestiality.
Oh, you're in that documentary. What's it?
No.
No. He's just basic. He likes threesomes with other girls, and that's it. He's
That's
like,
fun.
Yeah, hey, look.
Is that really fun?
I had a
A
threesome
party with
yesterday.
2 people is fun. A party with
That's
3
like
people is
vanilla
more
now.
fun.
That's very basic. Very basic.
Yes, I am basic, and I'm fine with being basic.
It's actually, yeah, I had a threesome yesterday. It was fine.
See there? It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Speaking of which,
I'm pretty
we
vanilla.
haven't addressed this since we've been gone, but yes, I did marry that lady.
Oh my God, we didn't get to because
Since I saw you guys last time, we went to New Orleans and eloped and got married, and it was fun.
Oh my God, congrats.
Thank
Carrie
you.
got married, and we didn't do the show last week. We were planning on having Alicia on the show last week, but I got caught up with my family and we didn't end up because we were going to announce it last week, and that's my bad, Terry. So yes,
All right.
Terry eloped last week. I should have been like, how was your last weekend?
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna get to it, but I forgot. So,
But
no, it was good.
We can definitely move on from the shit discussion. NP.
Can we? Anything to get us off the piss and the shit. That's
and we can talk about Julia Fox, who is Kanye West's ex. If you remember, he dated her immediately after Kim. She probably did it for publicity. But she revealed her New York apartment, and it was surprisingly underwhelming. And y'all, I mean, it was small. She has a kid that sleeps in her bedroom. She sleeps on the floor, and there are mice sharing the apartment with her. Probably
it's a 2-bedroom railroad style apartment in New York City. I mean, it's her net worth is $30 million.
Oh.
Her net worth is $30 million, and she's living in that apartment.
She ain't got to live like that.
That's how
insane?
expensive New York is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, right.
She actually said excessive displays of wealth make her uncomfortable. She does not like that. And so that's what I was wondering. Maybe
She keeps it real.
I was gonna say, I'm glad you looked up her net worth, because I was gonna say
I thought her net worth was maybe a couple million, not 30 million. I mean,
no, I would have never guessed 30
holy
million.
shit. And she's living
Why
in
you
that.
living with the price, girl? Like, you got a kid.
Yeah, it's incredible. I don't know what street she lives on though.
Yeah.
In Manhattan. That would make a little more sense. I'm not sure. Maybe one.
And
she lives on a high dollar street, then maybe that's why.
And the mice thing, I mean, that's just New York City, you know. There's
That's
just
normal.
mice.
Yeah.
There's mice, there's rats there. It's what happens.
Y'all roommates in New York.
Yeah, kind of. A little bit.
Wait, Terry, did you live in New York? Are you guys from New York at all?
No, I just been there a bunch.
Okay.
What about
I lived
you,
there for 10 years. Yeah, 10 years I lived there.
What was it like?
Yeah, mice, that's a normal thing. It's really not a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you kind of like,
they don't seem
rats
like
though,
anything.
rats are a different thing. You don't do rats. That's a different thing. But
yeah,
I just know if she was in Greenwich Village, Perry Street is the highest street real estate wise with prices. I'd like to know where she lives, but still that was shocking, that apartment.
Yeah, it was tiny, and I just thought maybe she was poor. I really did.
Well, no, but with her money, she could be living anywhere in any kind of environment she wanted to. Even if she could go across the bridge over to Jersey and live in a $10 million mansion.
Yep.
You know, so obviously this is a choice. And I mean, look, I appreciate the fact that, you know, you don't like big extravagant wealth situations, but come on, man, like get a bed, okay?
Yeah.
Like we all have a bed.
You and your child could have a bed if you got 30 million in the bank. Like,
Yeah.
All right. I think we're done. I want to welcome Miami's comedy queen, formerly to the show, Blamie Forret. Welcome.
Hi. Yeah, thanks for having me on here, guys. I appreciate it.
I had to when I found out your name. Me and Blamie were on a show, one of Abby Ballin's show, who was here actually. She was popped in.
Oh, cool.
We were on a show together, and I was like, Blame, like we gotta get together, right?
Yeah, Blamie does kind of fit to the BlameGirl thing pretty well.
Let me ask you that first. Why the name Blamie?
Oh my God. So when I was in high school, we had this girl named Jamie, and she was like the town bike. No one respected her, everyone hated her. And she was in my friend group, and her name was Jamie. And every time we talked shit about Jamie, we'd always say Blamie. And we would talk shit about her in front of her using Blamie as her name. And we'd be like, Blamie this, Blamie that, blah, blah, blah. And we we went to a club one night with her, and she was like, it was a gay club. She was like, I'm gonna find the one straight guy, and I'm gonna fuck him on the dance floor. And Jamie did. Jamie sure did. And she went home with the guy. We never heard from her after that, by the way. I hope she's doing
she's
okay.
dead. She's dead.
She's probably dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was thinking of a drag name years later, and my ex, who's actually in my bedroom right now, we're not fucking or anything, but that's the gay world for you. But we were thinking of drag names, and he's like, what about Blamie? Because he knew that's what we used to call her. And I was like, yeah, I like that. Let's make a pun out of it. And so came up with Blamie for it.
Mm.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And by the way, in case anybody doesn't know, the town bike is everybody gets a ride.
Yeah.
Oh, Jamie was the town bike.
Here's the town bike. Oh yeah.
And everybody gets. It's like.
What about Blamie, huh?
Blamie used to be the town bike. I'm actually Blamie used to be the town bike. Uber drivers as a drag queen. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
Wow.
You sleep with all your Uber drivers. It's crazy, and you still end up paying and tipping them. It's whatever. No, but I've settled down a little bit. I've settled down. I'm single 3 years now. I'm also sober 2 years, so I've settled down a little bit. I have my occasional afternoon Sunday three-way, but not too crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't you just say you had a threesome yesterday?
So in the gay world, if you go like a week or two without sex, that's like insane. That's like nuts. And like my number of like sex partners is probably like around 900. So like it's just a normal thing for us. We just keep going and going and going. So
y'all just be fucking.
We just be fucking. We're rabbits. Yeah.
I like it. All right. So you are very funny. How long have you been doing drag comedy?
I've been doing drag for going on 5 years now. Actually, Abby's show, that was my first time doing a stand-up set. I've never officially done like a stand-up set before.
You did that night, huh?
I think it was okay. I think it was fine. It was whatever, nothing you're gonna write home to mom about, but I thought it was good. Because I love stand-up comedy. I fucking love it. I think it's an incredible
You were
art
definitely
form.
Comfortable up there, like you had been doing it. I would have.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on stage for 5 years. I entertain crowds. My shows are 3 hours, 5 days a week, so I can do that. But doing like a set comedy routine like that, that was my first time doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've been doing about 5 years now.
All right. How long? Not how long. How long? Like, what's your favorite venue that you perform at?
Oh, Hotel Gathering on South Beach. That was where I got my start. I'm one of the faces of that place. That's
Hotel David?
Gathering. Hotel Gathering. Like gathering, but gathering.
Oh,
it's a gay bar, a hotel, and a sauna.
Is it like GAYTR?
Yep.
Gathering. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question for you since you mentioned South Beach.
Yeah.
The birdcage. What is your feeling on that?
I fucking hate that movie with every fiber of my being. I cannot tell you how much I hate that movie. I hate it.
And there's a reason that I bring it up. Because I think that movie came out when I was around 17 or 18, and I had never really been I'd never really been exposed to the drag queen world, but I loved that movie when it came out. Robin Williams, Nathan Lane, I really enjoyed it. Don't you feel like, even though at times it can be a little, I don't know what the word would be, patronizing, I guess.
Yeah, the whole movie is the whole thing. It's all fucked
but
up.
isn't it good just to help expose folks that maybe not have been exposed before?
And I think they did a version of, here, let's introduce straight people to gay people, where it's like, why don't you? There's a lot of movies like that where it's like, no, give it to them raw, like show them what the gay community is like really like, and we're different. You know what I mean? Like straight and gay people, we're different. We don't have to like love everything that our communities do. But we should respect one another, and we should, coexist with one another. We don't have to love everything in each community. But I think a lot of movies, they try to like just dilute it a little bit. And that's what that movie did. It was like this, like, what, 20-year-old guy dating this girl for 3 months. And he's like, oh, dads, by the way, I'm getting married. Oh, don't be gay. You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, well, it's the whole conservative politician thing behind it on the other side,
Well, it makes gay people look like they're not genuinely proud of who they are, because they're like, okay, let me just, do what my son tells me to do and pretend I'm somebody I'm not, when you're running one of the most successful gay drag bars in Miami in the movie. You know what I mean?
Right.
The gays love it too. I'm one of the
I've
very
had
I have to
multiple
watch
opinions.
it now. Like
That's why I'm asking, is I've heard multiple opinions, and I wanted to get yours. So
everyone I know loves that movie. I fucking hate it.
But even if you're getting a diluted version, as you say, like a watered down, family friendly version, isn't that better than no representation at all?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I do agree with it.
As they say in comedy, it's got to play in Poughkeepsie. You know what I mean? Like, they're not making this movie for New York. They're not making it for Miami. They're making it for Tulsa.
100%. I do agree with that. I think representation is good. Definitely. And over the years, gay representation has been getting better. It's been getting more inclusive. A lot of people are actually pissed from last night. Are you guys watching The Last of Us on HBO?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I'm watching.
I'm not gonna say anything. Right. But some people are like all upset about it.
Yes, I've played both the games. I was very excited to see good representation for video games.
Yeah. Watch it. It's great. It's fine. Whatever. But some people are upset about it.
Check that out too.
Well, not to spoil anything for anybody, so spoiler alert. But in the video game, yes, the young girl is a lesbian in the video game. So,
yep.
So I can kind of imagine where they're going to take it, But
I won't spoil. No spoilers. No spoilers.
Even though she is a teenager, just to throw it out there, just to really get under Tucker Carlson's skin. What do you think? What do you think Tucker Carlson thinks of the birdcage?
Oh Jesus, he was the Republican dad in that movie.
You won't believe what the M&Ms do in that version.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Gio, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry. We just went. It's because all these goddamn cars out here. They so loud.
Yeah.
But
that's why I can't do this podcast on my patio anymore.
We just went all off like that. But that was good. That was good. Now I got two things I gotta watch: Birdcage and The Last of Us.
Oh, The Last of Us is great.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's really come out well. Because video games, normally when they try to make them into shows or movies, it just sucks.
It's so good. It's so
video games. Really good. The Last of Us. Okay, I don't want to know anymore because that's gonna make me have to watch it.
It's on HBO. It's like a zombie thing. You'll like it.
All right, but anyway, so have you traveled to do any drag shows? I imagine you have.
Traveled?
Yeah. Where have you traveled?
Yeah, I got
favorite
booked.
place that you've gone?
Did you play in Poughkeepsie?
Fresno. I love Fresno. No, I've done P-Town and Cape Cod. I've done like a little quick thing in New Orleans. I wasn't getting paid to do that. And I did drag. I had a mental breakdown 3 years ago. I have a mental breakdown every 3 years. It's coming up actually in August. And I flew to Alaska. I had a little into the wild moment and slept in a car in Alaska for 2 weeks. I
love Alaska. I've been many times.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, I've been 4 times now. Dead Horse, Prudhoe Bay up there.
Prudhoe Bay, yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
know
I drove up there and slept in my car, drove all the way down, and I did drag in Alaska too. So yeah.
a good show is a good show. It doesn't matter where you're going. You
Well,
know
the
what
bar
I mean?
was supposed to be open. This was during COVID. So me and the drag queen that were doing drag, we were just walking around downtown Anchorage. She's one of the big drag queens there, and that was our whole thing. But
Well,
my
and see, that's the
favorite-
thing is when you talk to people about Alaska and you tell them like, oh, I was in Anchorage, they don't realize like Anchorage is just a city. Like it's a big city, it's a cold city, but it's just a city like any
It's a
other
regular
city.
Yeah,
Yeah, just like it's just because it's in Alaska doesn't mean you got polar bears just running around the streets and shit.
totally.
Yeah.
But I loved doing it there for the experience. P-Town's my favorite place to do drag. I did it for the first time this past summer for a week. I was booked there. Absolutely amazing. It was so much fun.
What's P-Town?
Well, you'd be say, even when you talk about Alaska, like these people, they're starved for entertainment up there.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
You'd be surprised. They'll come out for just about any show. Just if
The
it's a
best-
good show, bad show, it doesn't matter. Come anything,
The
get
best
me out of
drag
the house.
queens in the world that I've ever seen were in Anchorage, Alaska. They're amazing. But P-Town, it's Provincetown. It's at the tip of Cape Cod. It's a little gay town. Every single person in the town is gay, run by gay people. Everyone's gay. I'm not even kidding. Everyone's gay. So me walking around in full drag, it's the one time I don't feel like I'm gonna get murdered. Like in Miami, I'm always terrified walking around here. There, it's just a normal thing. No one bats an eye. So it's a
that's
wonderful
how it
place.
should be, but
But
Miami,
I mean, come on.
really?
If you're on South Beach, nobody bats an eye either. If you're
No,
in the
they
village
do.
in New York
No, they
or
do.
in San Francisco,
Really?
nobody bats an eye.
South Beach has gotten a little spooky, a little scary. So it's
That's
different.
sad.
Yeah.
That's very sad.
Yeah.
I
But
would have figured it would have been like a safe space, but that's crazy.
I would
That-
imagine that myself.
yeah, it depends on where you are, but you got to be careful.
What has been your favorite moment since you've been performing?
My favorite moment, people ask me that a lot, and
like your proudest moment.
I'm gonna say, okay, so one part of it is this past year I won 7 awards. I won for South Florida Gay News. I won Best Drag Queen, Best Artist, Best Comedian in Drag, Best Ongoing Event, Best Activity for Tourists. The list goes on. I can't remember the rest of them. Best Drag Show. That was proud, but I always put myself at a certain level. And for me, mentally, I haven't reached my best moment yet, if that makes sense. So I'm very proud of what I've accomplished, but for me, my best moment has yet to come, if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Is there a moment that stands out to you that just you like your top moment that you remember so far?
It would just probably have been like one of my bingo nights where the crowd was on fire, I was on fire, the jokes were hitting, everyone was laughing. And I remember it specifically because there was about 50 people. We all got together, all took a photo together. And it wasn't like a very specific memorable night per se, but it was just such a fucking chef's kiss night. And I remember being so comfortable, so happy afterwards, not exhausted from dealing with the crowd. And I was like, thank God I'm doing what I'm doing right now. It's just, I'm so lucky, I'm so privileged to be doing it, and I'm so happy I made this life for myself,
Awesome. It's
By the
interesting
way,
the answers that we get to that question, and it's it ranges. Some people are like, oh, I got to perform with this big name, and some people are like, I made this person that was pouty all night laugh.
And
Yeah.
By the way, just to all the Jason Pelishes out there, all the straight white males, if you get invited to a drag queen bingo night, go. Okay, go. I don't care if you think you're going to be uncomfortable. It is crazy good fun.
For what? What are you gonna be uncomfortable for?
Well, because look,
They might
straight
make
white
fun of
males.
you.
I'm speaking to my people here. I'm just saying,
okay.
overcome whatever it is inside you. It's a great time. I remember the first time I went, I was uncomfortable. I was going with this girl I was dating, but she would go every Monday night to this club, and they would do drag queen bingo. And I swear it's one of the best times I've ever had. It's so fun. It's so everybody's funny. Nobody takes anything seriously. There's not like a huge, like you're not going to get canceled if you say the wrong thing, and
you gotta, I will piggyback off that
best case scenario. Maybe there's a lesbian or a bi-curious girl and you get to take her home and have a threesome with, like that's best case scenario.
His threesome. He got to interject anyway. Blamie,
of course.
Blamie, what were you trying to say?
But you have to, if you're going to go to a drag show, try to, drag bingo's fun or whatever, but try to go see a queen that's not mean. There's nothing worse than a mean drag queen. Somebody that's just going to be mean the whole night. Because there's a lot of drag queens who think that's funny. And let me tell you, it gets old really fucking quick. Yeah. And it's not fun. So definitely vet your drag queen when you're going to go to a drag bingo. But it is fun. I mean, yeah, I do trivias too. I do spelling bees. I do like a bunch of drag stuff. So
this is just a side note.
All I know is I won that bingo and they made me feel like I was king of the world.
This is just a side note, Blamie. I love your gloves. I love them.
Oh, thanks.
They're very delicate and pink. Like they're the perfect pink. So
this is from a quinceañera dress that I bought at Goodwill, and I'm gonna cut it up and make a big jacket out of it. And that's what these gloves are. They don't really fit me. If you can see, they don't actually fit me. But yeah, they're cute.
Tiny.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't meet any of the qualifications to buy a quinceañera dress.
Oh my God. Do you know what it's like being a grown man going to Goodwill and you can't find a fucking prom dress that fits you? Do you know what that feels like? I'm a grown adult man, and none of these prom dresses fit me. It's the worst feeling ever.
It's almost like they weren't made for that.
They should. Okay, so what has been your biggest challenge since you've been a performer?
I would say the biggest challenge is over two things. One, nothing bad happened to me like at all. I just quit drinking and. One day, I've never done drugs before in my life, so that wasn't an issue. But that navigating being in a bar scene, a nighttime scene, the nightlife, sober, that was challenging at first. I got it down to a science now, but it still takes a toll on me. The other thing is overthinking everything. I overthink like you would not believe. I am my harshest critic. I need to chill a little bit. I really need to chill.
I think that's all of us. Right.
Yeah,
I think we all do that.
It is good to be that way, though. You don't want to go walking in with like too much confidence because then you never level up, But
true.
You also have to dial it back a little bit. You got to like give yourself some credit. Sit back, look at what you've accomplished in your life. Be like, oh, cool, I did that, But I never do that.
Quickly, tell us about you as an individual. Who are you? Do you have a day job? Are you a full-time performer? Do you have family? Any other projects?
I do this full-time. This is my full-time thing. I guess I would say I'm TikTok famous. I hate saying that, but it's true. I'm famous on TikTok there.
Good,
there better be a link to this podcast on there then.
yeah. I mean, we could. Yeah, I would love to do that actually.
You better link this.
Yeah, I did. I actually advertised it when I was getting a makeup today.
Thank you for doing that. So, but yeah, what else do you want to tell us about yourself? Do you have a podcast or any other project?
I think I'm going to be starting a podcast. Like I got to work out the details in that. But I'm going to be on a couple other podcasts with some big drag queens like RuPaul girls coming up, which is kind of crazy. I know that one. Yeah, not RuPaul herself. That would be like a whole nother thing.
I got to host for a RuPaul girl at the Improv.
Isn't that fun? Isn't it like it's a whole
and
thing.
This bitch was funny. She was very funny. Yeah.
Who was it?
It was Monet Exchange.
Oh my God, I love Monet Exchange. Oh my God, that's so fun.
Yeah, it was really fun.
She's hysterical too. She's absolutely hysterical.
And you know what? But, let me just say this. All I could think, I was like, that's a hot dude. Like, she's but she
both hot guy, hot girl.
Yeah.
Well, you're lucky she doesn't identify that way because then you'd be in trouble for dropping that, It's a minefield.
She's a drag queen. Yeah, I know how to navigate my way, Terry. I don't need some cis white man telling me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to mansplain nothing.
All right, back
Yeah.
to Blamie.
No, yeah, I got that. I want to start a podcast with Bonnie Builder. She actually was texting me today about it. If you go follow her, she's a bodybuilding drag queen. She's amazing. I am in the works of starting, and this is very premature. I probably shouldn't even be announcing it or anything, but I do want to start my own hot sauce line, and it's going to be called Blamie's Blood Farts. And yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So I'm like testing out recipes and stuff because I'm a big hot sauce aficionado.
Do you know Richie Lee?
I am too.
Oh my God.
Oh, you are too? Oh,
yeah.
Oh my God. What's your favorite hot sauce?
Huh?
What's your favorite hot sauce?
Los Calientes, the green Los Calientes from the Spice Lords over at Hot Ones.
Okay.
You have to order it. You can get it on Amazon, but
okay.
It's and hashtag not sponsored. But the green Los Calientes is the best hot sauce I've ever had in my life, hands down, bar none.
Oh my
It's good
God.
on
Okay.
pizza, eggs, burritos, tacos, whatever. It's so fun.
All right, that's enough hot sauce talk. Are you ready
Why?
to play
Everybody
the
loves
blame
hot
game?
sauce.
Blamie.
You're
what?
black. What do you mean? We're talking hot sauce.
Harry, quit interrupting me. Blamie, are you ready to play the blame game?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go.
And it seems like she was born to play it.
Your makeup is an optical illusion. I saw this video you did, and you were like, up here, down here. Who's to blame?
Lots of YouTube videos, YouTube makeup tutorials, and just me being completely mentally ill. That's what's to blame. Yeah.
You can learn anything on YouTube.
You can learn anything on YouTube.
Anything.
I have not done makeup or anything with another drag queen. No one has showed me how to do this. I've learned this all on my own, and it was YouTube. So yeah.
You were really good at it. Really, really good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Do you
I
have
learned how to
anything
change the alternator in my car on YouTube. It's crazy.
Do you have anything you want to promote? Like, where are you going to be at next? Or
Well, I guess most recently I'm hosting the Wigwood. It's a big drag event here in Miami. The Wigwood Pool Party this coming Sunday, February, 4th, 5th? I forget. It's Sunday. And I'm hosting it with it's the 4th. Yeah, I'm hosting it with Lady Bunny, who is like an absolute icon. So it's insane that I'm hosting with her. I'm doing that Sunday. And yeah, I mean, I just have regular weekly gigs all throughout the city. Here in Miami, I got Pictionary on Tuesdays.
Where can they find you on social media? If they
Blamie Forret on everything.
Blamie Forret on everything. It's Forret with 2 R's, right?
2 R's. BLAMIEFORRET.
All right. Well,
phonetically and everything.
Just hang around because you're gonna want to hear Terry Wayne's words for white people. You're white.
Okay.
So listen.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead, Terry. What you got for us this week?
Well, don't assume she's white because, it's quinceañera dress. You never know.
I'm sorry. You're right.
You gotta watch. You gotta watch.
You can be Latino and white.
I'm a white dude from Connecticut. It doesn't get whiter than that. That's like mayonnaise is spicy white.
I will go to the mattresses with you about being whiter. Okay. I am made from the. I did the ancestry.com thing with the DNA stuff, and they just sent me a blank piece of paper back. That was it.
Why are you being a white supremacist? Shut up. Do your words for white people.
That's a white supremacist? I'm saying it's bad.
You're like, I'm whiter. Who cares? Just
okay.
Jesus.
I'm not saying white is better. I'm just saying I'm the best at it.
On Korea.
All right, honkies. This week, since I'm newly married, I'm in a loving mood. That's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about love this week. We're going to talk about love. Oh, I know. I can feel Jason Pellish's butthole puckering up already. We're talking about love. We talk about a lot of heavy things in this segment. We talk about, world politics. We talk about race. We talk about gender. We talk about this, that, every culture war thing that culture war thing that little fucking fuzzy-headed son of a bitch on Fox News can come up with. Mr. Billionaire Tucker Carlson piece of shit. But that's all getting us riled up. Okay, because your hate and your frustration, your anger is a currency these days. That's what made Donald Trump president. That's what makes Tucker Carlson popular. That's what makes Fox News the most watched news of any news network on the planet. And it's because they're selling and buying your anger, your disapproval, which is why everybody gives a shit about the books that are in the school library, or everybody gives a shit about drag queen story time. Or look, if your kids are reading, that's a fucking good thing. Okay. It really doesn't matter. As long as they're not reading Mein Kampf, don't fuck with them. Just let them read. They're reading, for God's sake, in 2023. But just remember, there is love. All right. So you can go out there and you can try to challenge the world, try to get your viewpoint out there. But just remember, at the end of the day, find someone you love, find someone who takes care of you, find someone who's good for your life, settle down with them, and then you can go out and challenge the world. Just make sure you have a safe harbor to come back to, because that's what's going to keep your mental health in check. That's what's going to keep you happy, keep you satisfied, and keep you, enthusiastic to go out and fight those battles. But if you don't have a safe harbor to come home to, nobody wants to go fight those battles when there's no end to your war. So go out there, find somebody. There's somebody for everybody. Just somebody who's nice to you, maybe rubs your back when it's hurting, something like that. I don't know. I'm trying to be positive here. It's not my wheelhouse. But just remember, the whole world's not always a fight. Okay. It's not always a political fight. It's not always a culture war. Sometimes it's just about having fun. Go to a drag show, have a good time. Don't worry about what your friends will think. If they're not cultured, fine, fuck you. But find some love in your life, even if it's not for another person, even if it's just for a thing. Find some love in your life and lean on that shit, because the world's ugly enough as it is.
All right, Terry Wayne, thank you for those words for all people.
Positive today.
I ain't gonna even shit on your positivity, because I almost did. I was gonna be like, but no, I ain't gonna do it. I love you.
Yeah.
I think you made the right decision. I really love your wife. I really love seeing your wife.
I'm also fond of her.
I really love seeing your wife grow into the person she is today. She's beautiful and you don't deserve her. And so you were smart for locking her down. I'm just saying, So
I lock it down all the time.
Let us know when we're gonna celebrate, because it's on y'all. Like, you ain't told us shit. But
we didn't really care. It wasn't about the party for us. We just wanted to be married.
Do you have anything coming up that you want to tell folks?
Nope. Just moving to Nashville in March. I'm gonna try and I'm trying to get a location down in my head for where I'm gonna do my last show down here.
Jason Pellish, you better be there, because you ain't gonna ever meet Terry if you don't come.
Yeah, you come on, man. But no, I'm gonna do one last show down here in South Florida. And then we'll do a little something at a restaurant or something for the wedding. And then that's it. We out. This piece.
You're not saying the BlameGirl podcast is out, or that's not a discussion.
Oh, no. See, we do this on Zoom. I can do this from anywhere. So
yeah. Okay.
No. Words for white people must go on.
I agree. All right. Well, I don't have anything coming up either, not until mid-February, but I might be at a Doghouse Theater on Friday. So just follow me, you'll know. Other than that, Blamie, you've been an amazing guest.
Thank you for having me.
Really glad to have met you.
Thanks for showing up in full regalia.
That's cool. I'm a professional.
The last queen we had, she showed up as herself. So
because that's South Florida for you. It's a very professional place.
Well, you're not the first queen we've had on. You're the second, but you are the first queen to show up in full regalia. So I'm going to consider this the first.
Yeah, we got to get Gerald back on, because we told Gerald we'd have him back on with his get up. So we got to get him back on. All right. Thank you again. Hang around though.